Welcome back to The Turning Point with Janice Stein, Ashraf Hegazy, Samantha Nutt, and Mark Sedra. We want to hear your thoughts on where all this places Canada on the world stage these days. But first, in our interview at the beginning of the month, here's how Stephen Harper had his thoughts on that.
Canadians have accepted that there are times we've kind of gotten out of kinetic military activity, and the military's obviously changed to adapt to circumstances like Afghanistan. That's also been strongly supported by the Canadian people, and I think Canadians have become more engaged. Not just willingness to do what we did in Libya, but also the big assistance you see for Canadian activities in places like Haiti.
All right, those are the Prime Minister's thoughts. Kind of sense that the Canadian public is supporting the idea that especially the military has transitioned from peacekeepers to kind of force that is willing to use clout on the world stage. Samantha, is that the way you see it? You all travel a lot. Do you see it that way?
I do, and what I see on the ground is that people are a bit confused about what Canada is these days. Our foreign policy is essentially indistinguishable right now from our military policy, and it is seen as the Americanization of Canada's foreign policy. That's what we're seeing. And so people are wondering, where is Canada, and what, the country that they knew that was committed to multilateralism and to peacekeeping and to good governance. That's not the face that we're putting out there these days. And so it'll be really important in the months ahead to really figure out what it is that we stand for from a foreign policy perspective. And I would like to see us move once again into African issues and to begin to address some of the challenges facing that continent, because it's been largely overshadowed in recent years.
Ashraf, you have the opportunity to see how we're seen on the world stage. How do you describe that?
Well, within the technocrat circles, Canada has been appreciated for the role of CEDA in helping with development. But I have to tell you, with the general public, I think Canada hasn't been very visible recently. And I think part of that is because it's kind of been in the shadow of the U.S. I think the UN General Assembly vote will provide an opportunity for Canada to emerge from that shadow. But unfortunately, I doubt the Prime Minister will take that opportunity.
All right, Mark.
Well, I think when we are noticed, perceptions certainly are changing. People see the intransigence on climate change, the hardline stance in support of Israel, the wars in Libya and Afghanistan. And again, they're asking, why has Canada changed its policies from that as peacekeeper and nuanced multilateral diplomacy? And so I think that's something that Canadians are going to have to think seriously about going forward, because attitudes of the world are shifting.
All right. Janice, you got the first word tonight. You get the last one.
Let me sound a bit of a dissenting note here, Peter. There is a significant change in Canadian foreign policy, and people in the Middle East see it, but people in NATO see it too. And the easiest phrase to sum this up is we've moved from do-gooder to do-righter. To what the Prime Minister thinks is right. And that's often a more muscular approach to policy. But it is major engagement on disaster relief. It's seriously anchored in democracy promotion within a certain framework. So there is a change, and it's a move away from process. There's nothing inherently great about multilateralism. It's the end of the foreign policy purpose that counts, not the means.
All right. Interesting thoughts on that one from all of you. And as always, we appreciate your insight on it.